A vote of condolence was held in Parliament in tribute of late Minister M.K.D.S Gunawardena. President Maithripala Sirisena arrived in Parliament today to convey his condolences.
We all left the government together. He dedicated himself immensely to ensure my victory during the presidential election. He entered Parliament through the national list after he represented the United National Front. However, despite all of it, he did not remove the blue shawl around his neck. We even made fun of it, saying that he won't be able to sport the blue shawl anymore as he represented the United National Party at the time. But he made it very clear that he will not remove it at any cost. He functioned and had a mindset that he was part of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party. Not only did he speak about the people of the country in Parliament, he interacted with everyone, including officers of the police who held small portfolios.
He faced a number of issues when he functioned under the previous government. On a number of occasions, he spoke to me in Parliament about how the path that they had taken had no support of the people. Minister M.K.D.S Gunawardena was one of the most significant people who stood by President Maithripala Sirisena when he announced that he will run as the common candidate.
M.K.D.S Gunawardena
When he got into my vehicle, I vaguely asked him as to what he thinks about the government at the time. Responding to the question, he stated that he is going wary of the government. Then, when I asked him whether we should take a political decision, he asked whether something like that was in the pipeline, and I replied that I am ready to leave. He was quick to tell me that he was looking for another step out together and said, "Doctor, I am ready to get out before you." He joined hands with us with no frustration, with no hesitation and a steady mind. He was a very nice person and a friend who interacted with people in a beautiful way.
When the presidential elections in 2015 came about, and when there was the split in the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, and when our President walked out of the SLP government, Mr. Guluwad was one of those members of Parliament of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party who walked out with him and who supported him at that election. I think Mr. Gunawardena was guided by certain principles when he took that decision. There was no guarantee that Mr. Maithripala Sirisena would be the winner. Mr. Gunawardena was holding a position already as member of Parliament in the Sri Lanka Freedom Party under the former government, and there was an element of risk in that decision he took. But he nevertheless took that decision because I think he realized, as many of us did, that the country was moving towards a dictatorship. People felt excluded. There was inequality. There was injustice. And it was also in that background that Mr. Gunawardena himself took a bold decision to abandon his party and come out and oppose the candidate of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party at that point of time, Mr. Mahinda Rajapaksa.